went viral recently with a tweet that she put about the Golden Girls up. It's kind of grew a life of its own. And I wanted to see the face behind, the tweet, because sometimes, someone will forward you this or you might see this online, but you didn't necessarily know like it was written by a real person. Right. A little bit about how the tweet started. Are you a fan of the Golden Girls? Where were you at when you decided to write that?
Oh, well, first of all, I have been a fan of the Golden Girls for an extremely long time. I was a very normal child. I grew up watching the Golden Girls as a little kid. Like I've been obsessed with it forever. I was seeing all these tweets about hot girl summer and, everyone getting excited for the summertime. And I was like, I am a mom of 2 elementary school aged kids. I'm like, I have never been less ready for a hot girl summer. Like, this is more the speed of the summer I have in mind. So I just tweeted it, just like you tweet any random thought you had. And yeah, and then it just kind of blew up, which I was not expecting at all. You get on Twitter and you're like, oh, I want to talk about my books. I want to talk about, and then it's like some random joke about the Golden Girls that gets all this traction. So who knows? But
so you wrote it on May 10th. When did you see it kind of start to pick up traction?
It took a few days. I feel like in the last 2 days really was when all of a sudden everybody started sending it to me. Like, I saw this on Scary Mommy. I saw this on, Demi Lovato had this in her stories and all this stuff. And I was like, what is happening? It was just totally bizarre, but fun, it's fun to see it popping up everywhere. I think I struck a nerve. I think the Golden Girls summer is a thing a lot of us can get behind. So, why not? My 90-year-old grandmother, who is living her best life down in Florida, out on the lanai with her drinks, she is on Instagram. She, I try to make sure she stays up to date, pictures of my kids and stuff, and she started commenting on it. She was like, what is this? Is this good? So I'm trying to explain to her, I wrote this joke and it kind of a lot of people are sharing it and it's just kind of fun with trying to explain Twitter to my 90-year-old grandmother. I'm basically Gigi, they just want to be you. Everybody just wants to be Gigi this summer, down in Florida, with a cocktail and non-judgmental clothing and just kind of, living their best life. So
you're also an author. Tell us a little bit about the books that you write because you have a huge following, a couple of series. So, let us know a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. So I've written my whole life. I was always that kid, when I was supposed to be out doing sports, I was reading a book and then I was trying to write stuff or whatever. So when I was teaching English, I was teaching a bunch of high schoolers. And of course, none of them wanted to read what I was handing to them. They all wanted to read other stuff, those of them who were readers. So I was really curious. And I was like, what are you guys reading? Tell me what you're reading. And so my students who were readers would just come in and bring these YA books in, and I started reading them. I was like, I want to know what my students like to read. Maybe this will help me kind of, make English class more interesting, or whatever. And I was also writing at the time. And I just, I came up with this idea for a story about a girl who sees ghosts. And I just started working on it. And when I finished it, I did the traditional publishing. I sent it out, I queried it, I tried to find an agent, all that stuff. I just hit all these dead ends. And a good friend of mine said, well, why don't you put it out? Why don't you independently publish it? And that was kind of just starting to take off at the time. This was 8 years ago now. So I put it out there, with the intent, oh, maybe I could find a few readers. And then, maybe the next time around, if I, want to talk to trying to get an agent or whatever, I'll have a little more street cred or something, So I put it out there and then it followed up. It was a trilogy originally. So the first 3 books, the Gateway trilogy, Spirit Legacy is the name of the first one. And I found a readership. I just, I'm very lucky. I have a great partner, my husband, who is a marketing whiz, and he really helped me. He was the one who really believed in this and said, no, these are good. We need to get these out there. People are going to want to read these. And it was, and he was the one who pushed, and it's been amazing because, a dozen books later, it's my full-time job. It's his full-time job. This is what we do now. And it's just really, it's like a dream come true.